All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we have your weekly Monday market report, this time for week ending Sunday, January 29th, 2023. I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in today. Today's Monday morning. I ended up just waiting till Monday to actually upload this video. Usually I have this up on Sunday nights, but due to some other personal stuff, this is the time that you're getting. Oh well, at least it really is a Monday market report. If this is your first time here, first of all, welcome. And second, we talk about some of the most notable post-1900 era of graded coins that have sold here in the last 7 days. And typically we take a look at a few websites that deal with the with auctions. Primarily, Great Collections is one of our favorites here, along with Heritage Auctions. eBay is another one as well. We talk about it when they do come up, and it helps gives us a little insight of how the overall general market is, not just for what we consider this modern market that we talk about here on these videos. But if the modern market's performing really well, rest assured that the entire market is doing just as well, if not better. If it's not doing too hot, then that might lead to some sort of, pre-existing type of deal that could negatively affect the numismatic market over the short term or the long term. So it's always a pretty good barometer check for those of us that deal in graded coins, which a lot of people do these days. It's something very progressive that a lot of people do believe in. Grading, coins is one of those things that really ensures that you have a coin that is as the stated grade and something that is legitimate. Counterfeits are always an issue out there today, so we want to make sure that by grading, you get the best reassurance that you could possibly can. So we're going to be looking at Great Collections from the last 7 days. It's actually the final week of the Red Copper collection. There were a few coins spanning from the 1930s all the way up into the 50s. That we're going to talk about today. Most of what I do see on my list is 40s and 50s. There's some of the more notable decades from the Red Copper collection to have sold here in the last 7 days. But that's it. That's all for the Red Copper collection. It was truly a monumental event, to be sure. And it's very unlikely that we'll ever see something quite like it again. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event for a lot of folks that really do follow the coin market. And it's been a pleasure to talk about. But, I don't want to get too deep into that. We're just going to wait to get into the actual MMR, in this case, to talk about some of those coins. And then we have a few of the other coins. It's been kind of outside of the Red Copper collection. It was a little bit light this week, especially for like nickels and dimes. It was pretty light. Not a whole lot of big time coins to talk about, but we do have a few. Some neat stuff, by the way. All right, so let's jump right in. So every single Lincoln cent that you're going to see here is going to be Red Copper collection. All right, these are Stuart Blay, highest graded examples that were all part of the best registry set, bar none. So more than likely, these coins are going to end up getting absorbed into another Lincoln cent registry. I'm sure some of the other registry sets are going to benefit greatly from these coins. So we're going to start out with the 1957 Lincoln wheat cent. Philadelphia minted coins of the 50s are always quite tough from a quality standpoint. A lot of them suffer from the traditional, just overall, just bad planchet quality. A lot of nicks and all that stuff are some of the primary negative points with this particular generation of Lincoln cents. So finding anything that grades higher than a 66 and feel comfortable that it belongs there can be a little bit tough. So we have this one right here that graded out Mint State 67 red. CAC certified as well. I would say that most of the coins in the red copper collection have crossed over to CAC as well for that extra bit of certification. So we have this one right here that ended up selling for $6,387.75. A very, very tough grade for a very tough date of Lincoln cent. And very rarely do we come across these at all. And when it's CAC certified, that speaks volumes as to the rarity. It's rare enough as a 67. You add a CAC sticker on there, it's doubly rare to get both of those. Next one that we have here, believe it or not, is a non-doubled die 1955. Very rarely do we talk about a 1955 Philly Lincoln wheat cent on the list that just is here because of its grade. Typically, we talk more about a FS101 doubled die obverse coin. And this week, we just have a really nice high-end piece that belongs here. Of course, it's a red copper collection piece. Mid-State 67 plus full red is the technical grade for this example. Looks a lot better than the 57, but that doesn't mean that the quality is better on 55s. It is the Philadelphia struck coin. CAC certified as well, and this one actually sold for $9,056.25, which is very doubled die obverse like in price. So I know they get a lot higher in mid-state grades, but this one, just a total beat stick of a coin for a registry set. Probably the most difficult grade, I would say, between this one and maybe a 52 for a Philadelphia minted 50s Lincoln. If you're able to score a 67, bravo, that is a huge coin. Now, I would say that this is probably one of only a couple of coins in the entire list of the red copper collection that has not been crossed over by CAC. Maybe there were attempts made to get that green bean on there, and they just don't see the grade tie-in to the actual coin, which does happen. It's just, it is what it is, And a beautiful coin. It's something to behold when you could find this particular date in the 67, and you just don't see it that often. And because of that, keep in mind, no CAC certification, still managed to sell for $15,187.50. So if you can imagine what that little green CAC sticker would do to the coin's value, I mean, could we talking about maybe a $20,000 coin at that point? Possibly. Oh, we have a good, nice little rotated in holder 1953D. Not a super tough date to obtain in some of the highest grades because it is Denver. They traditionally have much better quality and production on these 1950s Lincolns. So this one you could tell, it's more satiny, it's more cleaner in presentation compared to any of the other Philadelphia struck examples. But don't understate the importance of these coins at their highest grades. Still very desired for any registry set. This one ended up graded as mid-state 67 plus full red. Along with it being a red copper collection piece. It's also an Omaha Bank Hoard provenance as well. So this one has been through a few pretty selective hands. Also CAC certified as well. And this one ended up hammering for $6,530.62. And by the way, all the prices are with the buyer's premium on this one. And there you go. There's the little 1952 Lincoln that I was alluding to earlier. Yeah, very tough coin. Although I'm going to say that this one's relatively clean as far as its appearance goes. Very well deserved of the mid-state 67 red, and CAC did agree with that assessment. When this thing gets to a 67 plus, gang way. That's a 5-figure coin all day long. This one right here ended up selling for $3,999.99. And another toughie one right here, 1950. Again, these things are tough. They're so hard to cherry pick, and BU rolls are few and far. They're hard to really find out there. And if you do find them, you're going to be paying $200, $300, $400 a roll. And it's more at the chance of finding a very clean example like this one. So it's a mid-state 67 plus full red, which is a really high-end grade for this coin. I would probably say it's a top pop at this point. CAC certed as well, and this one sold a few bucks shy of $10,000. $9,894.38 was the final sale price. We have a couple more Lincolns. How about 1947? A coin that we don't traditionally see on the MMR too often, but here's one here at its highest level. Mid-state 67 plus full red. 1947s are traditionally pretty well struck. And the planchet quality is above average compared to some of the 1950s specimens we just looked at. CAC also on this one, and it did sell for $21,811.50. Don't let the date fool you. It's very common in mintage only. But high-end quality pieces like this, where you get that top pop grade, they're just kind of like the unspoken rule, right? They just don't exist. If nobody talks about it, they just don't exist at all. So very beautiful coin, and there are only a handful of these in existence. And then finally, we have to talk about everyone's favorite one-shot Lincoln, and that's the good old Steely. We have a 1943S, highest graded specimen ever at a mid-state 68 plus. We've seen a few 68 pluses here in the last year or so, but we don't see too many of them with the CAC sticker on it. So this must be an exorbitantly clean example in hand for CAC to give it its green cert on there. So with that being said, it ended up translating to a pretty hefty price tag at the end of the day. $46,125 was the final sale tally on this one. Again, this is the biggest one for week 3 of the Red Copper collection. And the irony of it is it's not even red, right? So, pretty cool. Glad to see this one here on week 3. We have a big one to talk about, and it's this one right here. So, there you go. So we managed to squeeze out 2 nickels, and that's how light it was. No Jefferson nickels to speak of, which is kind of an uncommon occurrence. We usually have 1 or 2 to talk about, but not this week. And Buffalo nickels were kind of thin as well. The only thing that really we have to kind of hang our hat on is this 1915 matte-proof Buffalo. For those of you that are very, very familiar with the Buffalo nickel series, these matte-proof Buffaloes look very similar to a business strike. And that's why over the years, people have successfully cherry-picked a proof out of dealer stock. Even this coin throws off some pretty well experienced dealers. They're really hard to come by. Number one, the mintages are non-existent on these things, but to be able to tell this one to a just regular standard mid-state BU coin can be a little bit of a challenge. But you gotta know that the strike is second to none on these. Plus, they also have that thicker blocked edge to them. If you see one in hand and actually have the blessings of holding one up close, then you'll see exactly what I mean. But we have this one here that graded a proof 64. Beautiful coin. You can even say that this one's more of a bargain in the proof arena of Buffaloes, that it ended up selling for $1,458.88. And we also have this Liberty V nickel here in 1909. Again, another proof coin for you. This one is NGC graded proof 67. Beautiful specimen. It doesn't have the strong kind of mirrors that you would expect for a proof coin, and very few of them did. they usually had that very nice well struck. If I had to compare it, it looks almost like an SMS coin from 65 to 67. It's very close, very satiny kind of surfaces to them if you've never seen one of these up close. But this one's still a very nice specimen, $1,575. These you can find for about $500-600 if you're looking to obtain one just for kind of more of like, hey, I have a coin that has a mintage of like 500 and you're looking to be relatively affordable. This is one of the more affordable proof coins of an earlier date that you can obtain for that price range, although it won't be a proof 67, of course. Now we're on to dimes, and we do have a few. Believe it or not, we had one Roosevelt dime. This is probably going to be the only time that you're going to find a Roosevelt dime on the list and no Jefferson nickels. Now, in the, 4 years I've done the Monday market reports, I don't think I've ever reported on just there being Roosevelt dimes and no nickels. It's just something that you just don't see. So we have this one here, call it a one-off event, 1950S Roosevelt dime. Pretty well toned, and that's kind of like the big selling feature on this coin. The grade is nice though. PCGS gave this one a mid-state 67 plus full bands. Very good looking, very well struck, very lustrous, got the color in there as well. And this one ended up selling for $1,150.88. We do have a few Mercs in here as well. Actually, no, I take that back. We have one Merc. Again, that's how light the other denominations of coins were this week. We have a basic 1925 Philly. Believe it or not, this one is on the list, as a mid-state 65 full bands. Very well struck. Luster is very muted. Again, that's more of an ode to the actual era in which this one was produced. Finding them with like super lustrous, cartwheels on there. That's something that you don't see too much of during the 20s on any date of coin. And Mercury's weren't immune to it either. So this one here, 65 full bands, sold for $1,012.50. But I think the prettiest dime of all, I mean, you can't really argue with a Barber dime, especially one that looks like it was minted yesterday. Very nice, good-looking coin here. 1905S is the date. You'll notice it says the law on the label, and this was actually a previous law collection. And that's the actual name of the provenance that held this coin at one point. And it's an older graded piece as well by PCGS. Good looking coin, muted luster all throughout, a little bit of color on the reverse. This one ended up selling for $1,068.75. We're going to wrap it up with, believe it or not, we got 4 quarters for you. A few very modern pieces. This 1987D is one of them. NGC gave this one a mid-state 68. As you can see, these things were not really saved at the highest state of preservation. They just kind of came and went. People spent them. Nobody paid really any attention to them. But they have a lot more appreciation today where the registry set is involved. And folks are looking to find some of these often scarce, top pop coins. Even if it's NGC graded, it doesn't matter. This one right here ended up selling for $1,525. So that's a pretty good amount of cash for a high graded NGC grade. And the same goes here as well. NGC gave this one also a 68. You'll notice the difference in the quality. You can see a lot more of the heavy dye flow in the fields of this one, almost to the point where you have more dye deterioration on these much earlier 1980s Washington quarters than the later dated ones, which have more of a proof-like finish. But still, very important coin to have if you're a registry set builder of these types. I wouldn't dare buy any of these just for collectability or as an investment. They're kind of like fool's gold in a way. Sure, they're worth a lot of money now, but if there are any more coins of the same grade, the same date and mint mark that come out in the marketplace, you better believe that it's going to affect the value of all of them over the short term. This one did sell for $1,102.50. And we have yet again another premier variety here. One of my favorite double to dies, by the way. This is the 1968 Denver DDR FS801. Is a cherry picker's guide variety. Has loads of doubling on United States of America and quarter dollar. You can even see it right on the images here on this screenshot. But beautiful coin, man. I mean, these are very expensive at this this kind of grade state. If you're looking for a little bit more affordable piece, an AU condition coin still sells for a few $100s in the marketplace. And, they do get found out of change every so often. This one right here sold for $2,250. And we're going to end off the MMR this week on this beauty right here, a seldom seen 1939S. We don't talk about this particular date and mint mark too often because they don't come up in mint state 68. They just don't. This is a highly targeted piece from yesterday that was not a red copper collection coin. Mint state 68. CAC certified, this thing belongs on the list of some of the top coins for the week. It has a little bit of toning on there, more of the russet browns and yellows and golds, and it's not too crazy where it'll offend a lot of people. And there are registry set owners that are kind of particular over the look of their coins. They don't want them, too particularly toned up. And then there are some that really do want it. But I have to say, this is one of the bigger coins of the week with a $23,062.50 sale to round out this week's MMR. So there you go. Did a little combination of red copper collection and other stuff as well, all in one piece. Better than doing two separate shows. The red copper collection was coming to a close. And I could have done two separate shows. It wouldn't make any sense to do it. If you guys wanted to check out some of the other concluded Lincoln Cents from the Red Copper Collection that ended yesterday, go ahead and check out their website, greatcollections.com. They are also one of the premier online sites. Coin sales every week. If you're looking to add a pretty big piece to your collection, that might be the website to use. I'd say they are far worlds better than eBay ever is. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up today. I want to thank you guys, my friends, for tuning in. There was a live coin Q&A coming up this evening if you wanted to check things out on the live coin Q&A channel. I won't be there. I don't usually attend these. But I also wanted to point out that we will also be announcing the Vault Box giveaway, which will happen a week from today on the live coin Q&A. But I'm going to do an official kind of kickoff video for that event sometime today. So be on the lookout for that. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one, guys and gals. Thank you again. Hope you guys are enjoying the hobby as much as I am. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my content, to the channel. If you haven't done so already, come check me out on TikTok as well. Send me a follow my way over there as well. You guys are fantastic. Thank you again for all the views and support. And I guess I'll see you guys next time on the next coin video.